Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are going to be decluttering my blushes. A lot of you guys said in my last declutter video that you really wanted to see me declutter my blushes next, so that is what we are going to be doing today. Blushes is like one of those things that is really hard for me to get rid of. I don't know why. I mean, I kind of stick to the same color family when it comes to blush, but I like to have a variety of different colors even if I don't use it. Before we get into decluttering though, if you are new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button right down below. That way you are notified of future videos that I post. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into decluttering some blushes. Alright guys, so this is not even all of my blushes. I still have a whole nother shoebox full of blushes over here, but I just cannot even bother putting them all together. There's just way too much. That would be so overwhelming. Hopefully I can get rid of quite a few though. I'm really hoping I can get rid of quite a few because nobody needs this many blushes. I mean, you know, a couple color variations, but 150 blushes? That's just kind of ridiculous, isn't it? Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I'll start off with some palettes first because I do have quite a few blush palettes. And honestly, I really like having blush palettes. They are really good for traveling. So I do know like my NARS palettes I'm going to be keeping. This is the NARS Guy Borden palette. I've had this one for a little while, but these are just really great to travel with. You get a ton of colors, and in this particular palette you do get a nice little bronzer and a highlighter as well. So this could be kind of like your all-in-one palette. So I am going to hang on to that. I also have this NARS Stephen Klein palette, which I think I got last year or maybe the year before. Again, this is just a really great travel palette. You do get some nice contour shades, a nice highlighting shade, a bronzer, and then 4 blushes. You really just cannot go wrong with products like this. So I am gonna go ahead and hang on to this one as well. I always rave about the Tarte blushes. So I do have this Tartiste blush palette that came out last year. This is the Clay blush palette. That's really all that it's called. But these are the colors that were in this specific palette. I know it's probably blinding you, but I just love these Tarte palettes. I buy them every year and I'm never disappointed. So I'm gonna keep that one. I do also have this one from Tarte. This is a newer one from Tarte that I just recently got, but I am gonna keep it because I love it. This is probably one of my favorites that has ever come out because you do get so much product. And I've been loving this recently, so you know, I'm gonna keep that one. This is probably one I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of. This is the Lorac Cheek set. It looks like that. It does have a nice little mirror, and I have used this a few times, but honestly it's just something that I don't reach for all the time. I reach for my other blush palettes more so than I ever do this, so I will go ahead and get rid of this one. This is another Tarte blush palette that I do think I'm gonna go ahead and keep. The packaging is a little bit bulky, but honestly I just love Tarte's blushes, and you know, this is a nice little compact way of keeping all of your blushes in one place. So I am going to go ahead and keep this, even though the packaging is just a little bit bulky, but I do like it and I am going to hang on to that one. As far as my Z palette goes, this has Makeup Geek blushes on this side, and on the other side, this is a dual-sided Z palette, which I really like. I think I got this off eBay or Amazon or something. These are all MAC blushes over here, and then like I said, Makeup Geek blushes right here. So I am gonna go ahead and keep this, as well as my MAC palette. This has a bunch of MAC blushes in it as well. I am gonna keep this because this was freaking expensive. I want to say this was close to like $100, so I am gonna go ahead and keep that as well. I told you I wasn't gonna get rid of many of my palettes. I am gonna keep this one as well. This is the Makeup Revolution palette. I just got this not too long ago, and this is so stunning. This is a perfect drugstore blush palette. This one's in Hot Spice. You need to try out Makeup Revolution's makeup if you have not tried it yet. They do have really awesome affordable pieces, so I am gonna hang on to that. And then my last blush palette is this one from e.l.f. This is the Light blush palette, and I do actually think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this because I honestly don't use this as much as I use like their bronzer palette and their contour palette. I like this color right here, but honestly it's just, I don't know, I don't reach for it that often, so I do think I'm gonna go ahead and pass this on. This is one from Sigma. This is the Cream de Couture blush, and this is in the shade Strawberry Ambrosia. I do think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this because I honestly never use this color. There is another one from Sigma that I use, is this one, this Cherry Apple one. I do love this color, and I think I've mentioned this on my channel before, so I will keep this one. It's beautiful in the winter time and the fall time, so I am gonna hang on to that one. But but get rid of the Strawberry Ambrosia one because I just never reached for this. I've had it for a while and I don't think I've ever used it. I do have some more MAC blushes. I was obsessed with MAC blushes when I wasn't buying strictly cruelty-free makeup. This one is in Melba. I will keep this. This is a perfect everyday color. I love it. It's one of my favorite MAC blushes. Eternal Sun is another one that is just gorgeous in the summertime, so I will keep that one as well. This is Gingerly, another MAC blush. I will keep this as well. MAC blushes are expensive, girl, and I am not about to be just throwing away money, you know what I mean? Especially when it's stuff that I use. This is Azalea in the Afternoon, and I might actually get rid of this. I have other blushes that are pretty similar to this. It's very shimmery, so I do think this is one that I can part with, so I'll get rid of that one. This I got in an Ipsy bag. This is the Show Me Your Cheeks blush from Elizabeth Mott, and it's in the shade Peach Pink. I'm pretty sure I got this in an Ipsy bag, but this is what it looks like. It just kind of looks like NARS Orgasm, so I am just gonna go ahead and get rid of that because I never reach for it. I don't really like the packaging, and I don't know, I got it in an Ipsy bag, so it's just like a little sample. This is a blush from Japanesque. This is, oh, it's broken. That's fabulous. This is in the shade number 3. This is the Velvet Touch blush, and I never reached for this either. I think I will go ahead and pass this on. Again, it's kind of like NARS Orgasm, and I have so many blushes that are kind of in this same color family, so I'll get rid of that one. This is one that I think I'll get rid of as well. This one is from MAC, and the reason I think I've kept this for so long is because of the packaging. This was like their aquatic collection that they had a few years ago. I've never really been a big fan of the blush, honestly. It's just like not my kind of color. It looks kind of dingy on the cheeks. This is in the shade Seduced at Sea. I just loved this packaging, how it has like the water drops and stuff like that. I thought it was so cool, but I think it is time. I can go ahead and pass this on. This is another one I think I'm gonna get rid of. This is the Illamasqua Naked Rose blush, and I just feel like this color does not show up very well on my cheeks, and I am super fair, so I'm not the biggest fan of this. The formula is just kind of powdery, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass that one on as well. I do have a love for Chanel blushes. I used to buy Chanel blushes all the time. This one is in the shade Rose Initial. This is a beautiful pinky color. I am gonna go ahead and keep my Chanel blushes because they were a nice little splurge. Very expensive. This one is in the shade In Love, which I love this color. It's so beautiful. I love these kind of like corally, brownie kind of colors. And then I do have one more. Let's see, I don't know if it's in this dump right here or the next little pile. Oh, here it is. It's right on top here. This one is in the shade Malice. This is probably my favorite Chanel blush that I have. It's beautiful. So I am gonna go ahead and keep these because these were a pretty penny, and I do really like to use these. I loved these Master highlighting blushes from Maybelline a few years ago. This is one of my favorites. This is in the shade Coral. I will keep this one, but there are some other ones that I think I can get rid of. I'm gonna keep this one though, and this one. This one's in the shade Pink Rose. I used this a ton, and I know I mentioned this on my channel like so many times when I used it. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep both of these, but there are some other ones that I think I can get rid of. This one in the shade Nude. I never use this one, so I will go ahead and pass this one on. And then I also have this one. I bought like all of these because I was obsessed. This one's in the shade Light Bronze. I never use this one either, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. This is a blush from Cargo that I never freaking use. This is in the shade Cable Beach. It looks like that. It's very, very, very dark, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. I love these blushes by NYX. These are the Baked Blush Illuminator and Bronzer, but these are mainly blush shades. I have this one in Spanish Rose, which is pretty similar to Azalea in the Afternoon from MAC, so I'm gonna hang on to that one since I got rid of the MAC one. And then I've got this one in Solstice. This one's so beautiful. I love these kind of colors in the summertime. So beautiful. And then I also have this one in Chiffon, which is really gorgeous as well. Such a beautiful purpley kind of plum tone color. Wonderful in the fall time. And then this one in Wanderlust, which this is beautiful as well. It's kind of an interesting color, like a coral with like some pink reflex in there. Beautiful. These blushes are so nice, very pigmented. You just need a little bit because they are a little bit shimmery, but I am gonna go ahead and hang on to these because I'm trying to stay more into the drugstore realm and I want to have good drugstore options. So this is a great drugstore option. This is a NARS multiple, and this is in the shade South Beach. This is kind of like a bronze stick. Honestly, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this because I never use this shade. I do use the Orgasm one, which I don't see. Oh, here it is. I do use this one all the time. This one is in, wait, no, this one's in Riviera. I don't like this one either. I'm gonna get rid of that one as well, but I do have one in Orgasm, which, here it is. Right here. This one in Orgasm I am gonna keep because I've used this a ton. This is such a beautiful like stick blush in the summertime. It's fantastic. So I am gonna keep Orgasm, but I think I'll go ahead and get rid of the other two, Riviera and South Beach, because I just never used those. As well as this, I never used this. This is the Smashbox Silver Lake Sunset Blendable Lip and Cheek Color. This is just, it's kind of like a NARS multiple kind of situation, but it's just, I don't know, the color just seems kind of weird. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I think I'm also gonna go ahead and get rid of this. I think I got this as a free sample, but this is the Becca Beach Tint in Watermelon. I've never used it. It just seems kind of like a weird consistency for my cheeks. I don't really like liquidy stuff like this to put on my face, so I am gonna go ahead and get rid of that. This is a blush that I got from Lancome. This is in the shade Cedar Rose. It is beautiful, but it's kind of like that Illamasqua blush where it just doesn't really show up nicely on my cheeks, so I am gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. I have so many of the Milani baked blushes. I love these, and I went on a big kick of these blushes. These are just some of my all-time favorites from the drugstore as well. A little bit glittery, but you just need a little bit. A little goes a long way. I am gonna keep this one in Rose d'Oro. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorites. I am gonna also keep Luminoso. This one is a classic on YouTube. I've had this one for so long. It's just a beautiful coral blush. I am also going to be keeping this one in Bellissimo Bronze. Such a beautiful color. Very, very glittery though. You just need a little bit of that. I have this one in Coralina, which is pretty intense, and I don't think I've ever used this, but I am dying to use this in the summertime. How beautiful is that? These are just stunning. I love these so much. This one I think I'm gonna get rid of. This is Delicioso Pink. It's just so bright, and I honestly just cannot see myself using that, so I will pass that one on. I also have this one in Fantastico Mauve. I do love that though. I think I will keep that because it's just really fun, and with a light hand that will look beautiful on the cheeks. This one I think I'll get rid of. This is Red Vino. If you have a dark complexion, this color will look fantastic on you. For me, it's just a little bit too dark and a little bit too red. It really kind of brings out the redness that's in my cheeks, so I'm gonna pass it on. But girl, if you have a dark skin tone, this will look so beautiful on you. This is another one of my favorites. This is Dulce Pink. Look at that. It is so beautiful. I love this one as well. Very shimmery. Like I said, you just need a little bit, but I am gonna go ahead and keep that one as well. Just when you thought we were getting done, psych, there's a whole crap ton more. I got this blush from a BoxyCharm or something. This is in the shade Wildflower. It's from Studio Makeup, and I just never reach for this. It's a color that I pretty much have in my makeup palettes and stuff like that, so I am gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. I would be so silly if I got rid of this. This is my Urban Decay Video blush. This is probably my favorite blush. If I had to keep just one blush out of all of these blushes that I have, it would be this blush, and that is saying a big statement because I have a crap ton of blushes. But this, if you do not own this, you need this in your life. I've talked about it for a long time. You already know it's my fave. I do think I'm gonna get rid of this. This is the e.l.f. blush in Innocence. It's just super, super light. I don't even understand how I could use this as a blush because I'm super freaking pale, but this is just, I don't know. I'm not gonna keep this. It's just kind of powdery and not pigmented, like not enough color for me. This blush is really nice though. This is another e.l.f. blush, and this is in the shade Glow. This one is pretty nice. It's kind of like a corally color. It does have a nice amount of pigmentation, and it's really beautiful in the summertime. That is what it kind of looks like right there. It's kind of like NARS Orgasm, maybe just like a little bit more of a corally tone than a pink tone. This is one of my favorite Wet n Wild blushes. This is in the shade Rose Champagne. This one is beautiful. Such a gorgeous color for the cheeks, and it's very affordable. I think these blushes are like $3. I am gonna keep this one as well as this one. This one is Apricot in the Middle. One of my favorites as well. It's just kind of like a corally brown, nude, shimmery kind of blush. I really like this one, so I'm gonna keep both of those. This is one that I think I'll get rid of though from Wet n Wild. This is Heather Silk, and it is just really too dark for me. I just don't like the way this looks on my cheeks, so I will get rid of that one. This is one that I really like too though. This is Mellow Wine. This is just a nice kind of everyday blush. Perfect from the drugstore. I think it's like $3 like I said. These blushes are so pigmented. You need just the slightest amount, and look at that. They blend beautifully. I love this color. This is one of my favorites as well. I know I'm gonna get rid of this one. This is from Guerlain. I've had this for so long and I keep it because I love the way it smells. Ugh, it just reminds me of my childhood. It smells like Mr. Bubbles bubble bath, which I used to always use when I was a little kid. Like my mom would always give me a bubble bath with Mr. Bubbles bubble bath. Ugh, and that is what this smells like. It smells so good, but I've never used it. Honestly, I've never used it in my life. This is the Crazy Pearls illuminating powder. Ugh, I just keep it because of the smell. That is not the reason to keep a product, but it just reminds me of my childhood. But I am gonna go ahead and pass that on because I do not need to keep it for the smell. I know, I'm so ridiculous. This is an Aura powder that I got from Sigma. I do think I'm going to pass this on because it's really freaking bright and I've never used it. So I am gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I love, love, love my Love Flush blushes, right? Love Flush, oh my gosh, that's a tongue twister. Love Flush blush from Too Faced. I only have 3 of the colors and I truly love these so much. I have I Will Always Love You, I have Love Hangover, and Baby Love. Baby Love is probably my favorite. It is the perfect, just kind of like everyday color. Like, look at this. All my blushes look the same, I feel like, but I love these. These are really good. They last a long time on the cheeks, and the packaging is just everything. Aren't those so cute? I love these. If you haven't tried them, you definitely should. Another one of my favorites from Too Faced are these ones. These are the Sweetheart blushes, and I do love all of these as well. I have this one in Peach Beach, which is perfect in the summertime. All of these are really perfect in the summertime because they are so shimmery and just like intense. I am gonna go ahead and keep them all because they are beautiful. This one's in Peach Bellini. How beautiful is that? So perfect in the summertime. They give you such a beautiful glow. So I will keep all 3 of those. This is a Neutrogena blush. It's a healthy skin blush in the shade number 10 Rosy. I do think I'll get rid of this. I do use it, but honestly it just looks really beat up and I just don't want to use it anymore, so I will pass that on. This is a Fiona Styles blush in the shade Valley, and I do like this, but honestly I have other blushes that look pretty similar to this and I just never reach for this one, so I'll pass that one on as well. This is one of my favorite products from Becca. This is the Beach Tint Shimmer Souffle in Guava Moonstone. I love this in the summertime. It's kind of like a cream blush and highlight mixture. It looks so beautiful on the cheeks in the summertime. I love it. If you're going for like really minimal makeup, these are perfect. They are so gorgeous on the cheeks, very easy to apply. I usually just take my beauty blender and just kind of dab it in the product and then dab it on my cheeks, and it looks phenomenal. So I am gonna go ahead and keep that. This is one from Stila. This is the Rose Water, what is this even called? It's like a cream blush kind of situation. Aqua Glow Watercolor Blush. And this is interesting. I don't know. I think I might actually get rid of it because it is kind of messy, and honestly I feel like it looks kind of patchy on my cheeks, but the color is beautiful. It's got like this little mesh thing on the inside of the thing here, and you just kind of dip your fingers in it and then apply it to your cheeks. I just feel like it kind of goes on a little bit patchy, so I will get rid of that one. And then I have some more palettes here. I have these ones from Urban Decay. This one is in the shade Streaked. These are their naked flushed blush palettes. I am going to keep Streak because I love this one. This one's probably my favorite. It is so beautiful, and I might get rid of this one. This one's the original one in Naked. I just personally don't really reach for this one, so I will go ahead and pass this one on. Again, more Tarte blushes. I have so many freaking Tarte blushes, honestly. I'm probably gonna keep them all. This one's in the shade Exposed, which is one of my favorites. I have this one in the shade Entertain, which just looks like that. Actually, I might get rid of that one. I don't think I've really ever used that one, so I'll get rid of that one. I have this one in Dollface, which is so pretty. It's like a really light pink. I will keep that one. I also have this one in Natural Beauty, which is really kind of intense. I think I will get rid of this one. It's a little too harsh for my cheeks. This one in Energy is kind of like a mood lit type blush. It kind of how do I want to say it, reacts with the temperature of your body to kind of give you your perfect shade of pink. I will go ahead and keep it because I do think that it's a really good blush and I like it. It's a nice little light pink shade. This is one of my favorites. This is the Tartelette Celebrated blush. I have mentioned this a lot on my channel, especially last year. I have completely worn in the center of it. Like you can't even see the little river on it anymore. So I am going to go ahead and keep this one. This one is in the shade Embellished and it just has a nice little shimmer to it. I am going to go ahead and keep this one as well because it's just a beautiful color. I love the shimmer in there. Perfect for the summertime. This one is in Ecstatic and I am going to keep this one as well. This is a really pretty kind of corally blush. I love Tarte blushes, girls. What can I say? I can't help myself. This one is in the shade Classic and I have used this one a lot too. I love this one. This one's so pretty. I got these in like a little holiday set. That's why I have so many. This one is in the shade Epic, which just looks like that. Kind of bright. I might actually get rid of that one. I have this one in Prim. I love Prim. I've used this one a ton. Look at that. I've used that one so much. I am keeping that one. This one's in Daydream and this one's actually really pretty. I don't think I've ever used that one. I will go ahead and keep that one as well. Amore. Ooh, that one is nice and shimmery. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Ooh. Ooh, I like it. I will keep that one. And then this one is in Blissful, and this one just looks like I've had it for way too long. It's kind of like waxed over. Can you see that? I've had this one for a long time. This is probably one of my very first Tarte blushes I ever bought, so I will probably have to go ahead and pass that one on because it's a little bit too old, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. I have this NARS Duo. This is, okay, this is very embarrassing, but this is my very first Sephora thing I ever bought in my entire life. The very first thing I ever bought from Sephora was this Duo, and it is so beat up and so gross. Like, look at that. That is so beat up. But that is Orgasm and Laguna, and I have Orgasm in another palette and I have Laguna like by itself, but look at that. I have had this for so freaking long. It's time to let it go. It's time to let it go. I mean, you probably, yeah, you can't even get any freaking product off of that. Throw that away. This is a blush from Dior. It looks like that. It's very intense in the pan, but it does look pretty on the cheeks. This is in Rosy Glow. I do think I'm gonna get rid of this though, because honestly, every time I use it, I feel like my cheeks look very patchy. So I am gonna go ahead and get rid of that. This is Blushed Copper from Becca, and I love using this as a blush topper in the summertime. It's beautiful. Such a beautiful, beautiful product. So I am gonna go ahead and keep that. Another product from Becca, this is their Sweet Pea blush. I love Becca's blushes. They are so beautiful, wonderful on the cheeks. I do have another one here in Damselfly. I think this one's discontinued, but it's one of my all-time favorite blushes as well, so I am gonna keep both of those. This is another pressed, what is it, Shimmering Skin Perfector. This one's in Rose Gold. I love this one as a blush topper as well. Look at how gorgeous that is. I mean, can we just talk about that, please? That is so stunning. Gorgeous as an eyeshadow, gorgeous as a blush topper. You cannot go wrong with that. It is a little bit expensive, but it's so worth it. This is one of my favorites in the summertime. This is Bellissima from Kat Von D. I think this color is discontinued as well, but it's a beautiful kind of like corally blush. I love this so much in the spring and summertime. It's beautiful. I'm going to keep that. These two blushes are from Urban Decay. I have this one in Fetish, which I've mentioned a lot on my channel as well, and then this one's in Rapture. I don't use this one all the time because it is pretty freaking bold, but it is gorgeous. With a light hand, this is stunning on the cheeks, so I am going to keep that as well. This is an e.l.f. contouring blush and bronzing powder duo. This one is in St. Lucia. That's what that one looks like. I am going to go ahead and keep this just because it's nice to have these little duos for videos and stuff like that. I thought I had another one, but I don't see it. I have one in Fiji, which I'll keep, but I don't know where it went. I've lost it. Anyway, moving on. I have these rose blushes from Milani. This one is in the shade Coral Cove, which is so bright, and I haven't had the opportunity to use these yet. Look at that. That is so intense. I feel like I need to try these out on the cheeks though. I haven't had the time really to play around with them, so I am gonna go ahead and keep all three of these because I haven't played around with them, and there's been a lot of buzz about these. These two blushes from Sigma, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of. This one is in the shade Born 2. I used to use this all the time, but honestly now looking at it, it is so freaking glittery, so I am gonna go ahead and get rid of that one, as well as this one. This one's in the shade Mellow. I just never reach for these. This is a beautiful color though. It'd be like a nice contour color, I feel like. But I am gonna go ahead and get rid rid of that one as well. I love Benefit's Coralista. This is just like a classic in the summertime. I use this one all the time. This is one I always go back to in the springtime. Dandelion. I've almost hit pan on this. I've mentioned this a lot on my channel. Pretty much every spring and every summer I mention that blush. This is another one of my favorites, Ervana. It's so pretty. I love that. If you have fair skin, this is a really nice blush. I am gonna go ahead and keep this one as well. I also have Dallas, which is really pretty, but honestly I never use it, so I will go ahead and get rid of this one. And Rockateur I used to use all the time, but I honestly think I'm gonna go ahead and pass this on as well because I just don't reach for it much anymore, so I will pass on these two. I have this blush from Makeup Geek, which is so bright and intense. This is XOXO. I think I got this in a BoxyCharm or an Ipsy bag or something like that, but this color is just a little bit too bright. I do love her packaging, but I am gonna go ahead and pass this one on. This is another one of my favorites in the spring and summertime. This is the Laura Geller Blush and Brighten in Tropic Hues. I love this. This is such a beautiful blush. I love baked blushes like this. They're just so beautiful on the cheeks in the spring and summer, so I am gonna keep that one. This is a blush from Makeup Revolution. It's the matte blush in Fusion. I am gonna go ahead and keep it because it is a beautiful color and you get so much product in here, and I haven't really used it on the cheeks, so I feel like I need to try it out. This is a blush from e.l.f. that I literally just got not too long ago, and I'm just not happy with it, so I am gonna go ahead and pass this on. I literally just got this not too long ago, but I am gonna go ahead and get rid of it. I have this NYX blush here. This is in the shade Summer Peach. It just looks like that. I really like NYX blushes. They have some really good blushes, so I will keep this one. I love their HD blushes. This one's in Intuition. It's a little bit glittery, so I think I'm gonna get rid of this one, but there are some others here that I will keep. This is one of my favorites. This one's in Soft Spoken. If you get any NYX blush, I feel like this is one that you need to have. It's beautiful. I really like this one. This one is in Rose Garden, and it is pretty intense as well, so I am gonna go ahead and get rid of this one, but if you can try out their HD blushes, they are some of my favorites. They are so beautiful. I do have several NARS blushes. NARS blushes are my favorites as well, so I am pretty much gonna keep all of these. I have this one in Sin, which is a gorgeous kind of like purple color. Gorgeous in the fall and winter time when used with a very light hand. I have this one in Deucer, which is another one of my favorites. Look at that. Ugh, it's gorgeous. I have this one in Deep Throat, which is so stunning. I wore this on my wedding day. It's just the perfect blush. It's gorgeous. I like that better than Orgasm. This one's in Matahari, which is so scary, but oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Definitely keeping that. Pretty much all my NARS blushes I'm keeping. This one's in Luster. Again, it's a beautiful freaking color. You cannot go wrong with that. Madly, this is just a classic blush. I love everything about that. It's gorgeous. I have this little sample. This is their newer color in Gulu, which is beautiful as well. So keeping all my NARS blushes. I know, I can't help myself, okay? I love them. This is another Sigma blush. This is in Serene. I will go ahead and get rid of this one just because I do have other blushes that are similar in color. These Essence blushes are fan-freaking-tastic. I think these are like $2. These are cheaper than Wet n Wild's, I think, and these are fantastic. This one's in Adorable, and then I do have another one right here. This one's my favorite right here. This one's called Baby Doll. I love this. I don't think I've ever mentioned this to you guys, but these are fantastic. These are the Silky Touch blushes. You need to try these. These are fantastic. This is a blush from Clinique. This is their Nude Pop Cheek Pop Blush Pop. I do think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this just because I'm not the biggest fan of the formula of these anymore, so I will go ahead and get rid of that one. This is a Sephora colorful blush in the shade Too Hot. It is insane. It is like bright freaking orange. I'm obsessed with this color. It's so stunning. It's so unique. I love it. I am gonna go ahead and hang on to that, as well as this one. I feel like you need to have some insane blushes in your collection just because you just need to. This is from Sigma. It is called Hotspot. I love it. It is gorgeous. I am gonna go ahead and hang on to that one. This is another one of my favorites in the spring and summertime. This is the Sephora Guava Glow blush. I think I might actually get rid of it though, just because I do have other blushes that are pretty similar, and it's broken, so it drives me nuts every time I go to use it. So I will go ahead and get rid of that one. I have several of these Hourglass blushes. I really like these. I know there was like a lot of mixed reviews on these, I guess, but I really personally like them. I'm gonna go ahead and keep all three of mine. I have this one in Diffused Heat. I have this one in Luminous Flush, which is just a really pretty pink, and then this one's my favorite, Dim Infusion, which is kind of like a corally blush color. So I am gonna go ahead and keep all three of those. I love this Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick and Rose. I use this a lot kind of as like a blush topper in the spring and summertime. It's just a really pretty rose color, so I am going to go ahead and hang on to that. This is the Becca and Jaclyn Hill, what is this? Shimmering Skin Perfector and Mineral Blush like duo. This is in Amaretto and Prosecco Pop. I am going to go ahead and keep this because I really wanted the Amaretto blush. Prosecco Pop is a little bit too dark as highlighter on my skin tone, but it is really pretty. The NYX Ombre blushes are some of my favorites. I have this one in Mauve Me. I do think I'm going to kind of get rid of this one though, because I do have other purpley blushes like this that I like better than that, so I'll get rid of that one. This one is in Strictly Chic, which is one of my all-time favorites. I mentioned this in my yearly favorites, so I will go ahead and keep this one. And then this one is in the shade Nude to Me. It's like a really pretty kind of bronzy shade. I think I'll get rid of this one too, just because I never really reach for it, so I'll get rid of that. This is Warm Soul by MAC. This is one of my favorite MAC blushes as well. I do think I'll go ahead and hang on to that one. I have these ones from e.l.f. This one's one of my favorites. This is Cabo Cabana. How beautiful is that? I love this. These blushes from e.l.f. are my favorite. The pressed mineral blushes. I like these a lot better than their studio blushes. This one is in Sweet Retreat, another one of my favorites. This is so beautiful. A perfect kind of like everyday color. This one is in Jet Setter. It looks really pretty. It's a little bit darker than Sweet Retreat, but it is really pretty, and with a light hand, it applies beautifully to the cheeks. So I'll keep that one as well. This is from Laura Mercier. It's called Spiced Cider. It's a second skin cheek color. I love this color. It's very unique, I feel like. That is what it looks like right there. Even though by now you're probably like, all your blushes look the same. But I really like this. I think it's a beautiful color, and I feel like personally it's very unique. I don't know. I feel like I don't have anything like this in my collection. So I'll keep this one. And then this is a mineral blush from e.l.f. It's their baked blush in Peachy Cheeky. Again, you cannot go wrong with e.l.f. blushes. Their baked blushes and their pressed mineral blushes are fantastic. So I will keep this one as well. Well, I think that went a lot better than anticipated. These are all of the blushes that I'm going to be getting rid of. There are a ton here. Let's just count them up real quick. So there's 46 blushes here, okay? I think that is pretty darn freaking good, considering blush is one of those things that is extremely hard for me to get rid of. Alright guys, so that is going to be it for this makeup declutter. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down below, what is your favorite blush of all time? Also, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button right down below if you are not subscribed already. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Let me know also what products you want me to declutter next down below in the comments, and I will talk to you soon in my next one. Bye!